Hi guys, Divine Rising, me and my big sis here. This Rising, we have a treat for you guys. For this episode, we are talking about spiritual practices. In that sense, we're talking about finding your spiritual practice, what works for you. This is a download that came to me. Overall, finding your spiritual practice works for you in a way for you to understand your spiritual science and further tap into yourself. So the genetic, of course, I'm gonna give you a genetic definition. So the genetic definition that there you go.
Yes.
Thank you.
It's okay.
It's okay. Hey, I do that sometimes and I laugh at myself. So please laugh.
And I'm here because I'm the one that will decide if sometimes I don't want to correct, but okay, but
it's fine because I'm so country, y'all.
It's okay.
Country accent.
I'm supposed to be country, but I was born in the real country.
I was in the boondies of Georgia. All right, boot major.
She's not country. She's Southern. There's a difference. Okay. There's a difference. She's just Southern. It's okay. We love it.
Okay. So the generic definition for spiritual practice: actions and activities done with intention of fasting, spiritual growth, deepening a connection with the divine self or the divine in general, cultivating a sense of peace and well-being. So, sis, would you like to chime in on that as far as the spiritual understanding?
So I just want to give you an understanding as to why we're doing this. It's been my impression that people have been saying that religion is manipulative, and anything that we do that somebody else puts out there and we follow that pathway can become manipulative. Even a spiritual practice, if it's pushed on you and telling you to do it one way, it can then become a tactic that somebody can use to control you. And so my idea and understanding for us going through this process of talking about these things is because there's no cookie cutter way for you to find your spiritual understanding. There's no right way or no wrong way as long as it's positive and it's not hurting other people physically. Now, when I say that to say this, that sometimes you make decisions for yourself that's right for you, but it looks wrong to somebody else because they want it to benefit them more than they want it to benefit you. That can be manipulation. And in that process, that's why spirituality, religion, and any of these books, when you go, especially in religion, because I know in religion, you go in front of somebody, you sit and you listen to them tell you their understanding of a specific book. And then when you leave, if you don't go back and get your understanding of that phrase or that paragraph or whatever it is that they was harping on or going on over and over and over again, then you will be misled because they might not even believe in what they're preaching, but what they're preaching is making them some leeway in their life. If they believe it, they believe it, but we are starting to find that we see that people are human, and what they're telling us is the opposite, or they fall short. And you have to understand, I'm saying this because we come to you as two human beings saying that we have spiritual practices that we have learned or been taught on our own. We've made them our own, and we're going to share this information with you. This information is then for you to go take and then turn it around and make it into what you feel is appropriate for you and your way of life.
Shay, sis, I love how you said that. So let's get into some spiritual practices. Some forms of spiritual practices: meditation, prayer, journaling, fasting, mindfulness, doing yoga, spiritual retreats. People find meditation in reading as well as crafting and doing all types of fellowships. Before I answer this, I do want to ask you, sis, what are some forms of spiritual practices that you do for self?
I do very little.
Okay. That's fine, sis. We sharing.
But when I started out on this process, I started out with strong religious backgrounds, and not just one, multiples. And then, yes, I did go into the crystals, but I have been in the crystals since I was a kid. I just didn't know they had metaphysical properties to them. So I did get into that. But once I realized that I didn't need to put on my all my eggs in one basket. Crystals are great to start off with as reminders, as vibrational understandings, these types of things. So I did get into that for a while. Meditation, prayer, of course, prayer is always something, but my version of prayer versus other people's version of prayer might be different.
Yeah.
I journaled, but because I'm a person who writes stuff down and really never go back to read it, journaling is one of those things where I'll write it down, and whenever I'm called. So if I'm called to write it down, I write it down, and then if I'm called to go back and read it, I will. Mindfulness and conscious understanding is something that I try to stay within. I do a lot of reading.
Yeah.
I do a lot of fellowship. Believe it or not, I think fellowship out of everything is something I do the most of. When people call on me because something in their life is not doing what they want it to do.
Yeah.
And because I know that I'm a person that can pull myself away energetically, then I'll be there for fellowship and talk to people. Some people call it counseling, but I don't have paperwork on that.
Yeah.
I feel like I just take what you tell me, decipher it, and then give you some thoughts or some things to think about in that process so that you're not stuck, so that you could see another option, because that's all it is when we're stuck, we just don't know our options. Or we don't know how to take that avenue. But other spiritual practices is like Christianity. You like Kemetic.
Yep. I'm free flowing, but I'm very heavily.
You're pulled to that, spiritual. Some people conjure spirits, talk to spirits. There's all these things. There's so many avenues out there, and I don't want like I used to ask people about religion. If there's over 500,000 religions in the world, how do we know which one is right?
Right. You got to figure out what's best for you.
Yes, because all of them say if you're not following this book, that you're going to hell. But my understanding is you're going to tell us that because you want us to follow this way in this land.
Oh yeah, I love how you broke that down. I love how you broke that down. When it comes to my spiritual practices, though, you'll find that I do a lot of stuff that is earth-like. If that makes sense. Of course, grounding. I love to ground. Herbal teas. And think herbs is part of earth, okay? Yoni steams. I do journal a lot. I'm telling you, friends, I be journaling, thinking I'm supposed to journal 5 minutes, and it's 3 hours done passed.
It's also called, sorry to cut you off,
it's fine.
It's also called automatic writing or spiritual writing.
Yes.
So that's what she does.
Yes, and I love it. Just free flowing. I use crystals very heavy because again, earth. And each crystal speaks to me. And when I use it, I feel that energetic pull of the crystal. Sound healing, meditations, affirmations, spiritual and healing baths is another one too as well. And I read just like Big Sis, you were mentioning like how counseling stuff. I was gonna say more so like a guide or something like that. I'm more so like that as well, giving out guidance and stuff like that. And very, very creative. I allow my art to put me in that mood of meditative state, that theta state. I get in there and I'm just free falling. And it's like I'm on my spaceship, got my music blasting, just hovering over, doing my thing, drinking my herbal tea. So that's pretty much how I do my spiritual practice. I do tarot cards, practice tarot cards. And like Sis said, some people conjure spirits, some people just talk to the spirits and stuff like that. I do have a couple books and stuff I'll share later on as well.
I do that. I mean, I get it. So I do most of what she does. I'm not herbal. I do herbal. I live with a child or a woman who's growing up to be an herbalist. So I do herbs. I do all those things. I ground. I do all those things. I think those are the cookie cutters. Some of those are some of the cookie cutters, like meditation, grounding, herbal understanding, spiritual baths. I think those are things that most
Most
spiritual people,
the
that's,
basic,
yeah, those,
the
yeah,
basic,
yeah.
the essentials
Definitely.
to spiritual
Or
practice.
showers for people
That-
who like showers. I
yes.
like to submerge.
I
I
do
mean,
too.
I like to submerge myself in
In the
water.
bathtub,
I'm a
yeah.
person who takes 3.5 hour
Yeah,
baths.
that feels
Yeah,
good.
that's me.
Water holds memories.
Especially using salts.
Yeah,
I like to use sea salt. Yeah,
yeah.
or sometimes I'll use Epsom salts. Water holds memories, so I'll
Yeah, it
speak over
does.
the
Yeah,
water
yeah, it
and
does.
speak positivity. Here I am, tongue twisted, speaking positivity into my water as
Right.
I'm doing everything around. So it all becomes your own made up ritual that suits you.
Yes.
Because I
Yes.
looked in some ritual books and I was like, I got to go out and get all this stuff just to
Yeah.
do this. Why can't this be made easy?
Use
Spirit
what
is
you got.
supposed to be within me. So
Use what you
don't go broke trying to buy crystals if you can't afford them, because they serve a purpose. But once you get further into your practice, you'll understand that you really don't need them.
Yeah.
If they're comfort, then I get it, because
Yeah.
I have crystals in my car. Sometimes, well, I have, these aren't considered crystals, but they are crystals. They're tektites.
They definitely are.
And I mean, just we're gonna come into this, we're gonna help grow you into it so it looks like your own practice. And if you're sitting next to somebody who says they're spiritual, but they follow a different way of it, don't wrinkle your nose. Don't tell them they're wrong.
Yeah.
Don't be like, well, why are you doing that? Because they're them and you're you.
It most definitely, most definitely. And what sis is basically saying overall, when it comes to spiritual practices, you don't necessarily have to have the tools.
No,
You are the tool.
very much so. You're the antenna, you're the receiver, you're the one that pushes it out, pulls it in. I mean, you're everything you need, but we need something tangible in this earth life to prove to us that we're doing something. And if it makes us feel an emotional connection, because we're 70% water, just like the earth, and the moon controls the water on the earth, which is all our emotions and all of that. When it gives you an emotional connection to your planetary moon in your birth chart, then you're going to feel that that is right for you.
Yes, you're definitely right about that. So I do want to share a few tools if you do resonate with tools like singing bowls, tuning forks. You yourself, your voice is a tool. Pen and paper, just a journal. Nature herself, anything that can make a sound. I have a couple of, this is a small little singing bowl and it has the symbol of the third eye inside. It's just a little ding here. It'll get your third eye stimulated, baby. Okay.
It will also, you can also use something like that to call in good spirits if you're trying to cleanse your house as well.
Yeah, and I have one hanging on my door too. So, and then this one here, where you just let the bowl sing. There are seven types, and they're different tunes for each
chakra.
The seven main chakras. I'm only going to show just one. This is a tuning fork here. I have a set of 8, and you can utilize these as well. And my daughter loves when I use it, and I go to the area of wherever this fork is. This is the root chakra for grounding, and I just bang it across her to get the energetic feel and stuff like that, as well as crystals, sis. And I also want to ask, sis, when you do use crystals or whatever crystals do you have, what crystals do you have and what's your favorite?
We're not naming all my crystals.
No, you don't have to. Just give us a few crystals.
I was about to say,
because I have a bunch too.
So I used to do crystal reviews for the Blue Herbal Goddess, and she does have Instagram. I used to do crystal reviews for her, but I had started picking crystals up when I started my journey. I have a lot. So let's talk about the 2 that I have around my neck, since we're talking about crystals. They're not technically crystals, they're meteorites, they're tektites. So this one is moldavite, and I did wrap it myself.
That's beautiful.
And moldavite right now, the price of it was expensive when I bought it, but the price of it now, they say it's going up. I don't know. All I know is I got this one. Okay. I had 3 of them, but I didn't really need them. This one was the one I chose to wear, and the other ones, I don't know where they are. This one is chrome dioxide.
That's pretty.
So they're they're
very earthy.
2 different stones. This one is very high pulsating, very strong. Most people can't wear it more than a few minutes. I can wear it all day. I don't sleep in it. I don't sleep in it. And I really have to watch what I say when I wear it. Motivite's been known to snatch things that aren't in your, that don't need to be in your life. It's known to snatch them out very abrupt.
Yeah.
It's not silent about it. You don't need it. Okay, I'll just take that. And you're sitting there like I wasn't ready to get rid of that.
I was still using that.
And this other one is the same as Moldavite. It's just a little bit softer. It's not as abrupt. It's not as overpowering. And the price of it is a little bit cheaper. I did not wrap this one myself. This one I got in a trip to Vegas because pretty sparkly things always make my eyes go wow. And it's a crystal. I don't have it, so let's go ahead and purchase it. Other crystals I have, let's see, I have a globe that's about this big of pyrite. And it sits on pyrite is beautiful. It brings in money. That's what I know it for. It has so many. But off the top of my head, I'm not about to rattle them out. I do know it brings me money. But pyrite is about like this. It used to be called fool's gold.
Yeah.
But I have a globe that's like this. It looks like the moon. It's so cool. It's got like chunks of it pulled out of it. I have a crystal ball that I gaze into, but mine is not the clear crystal ball. It's actually got doorways in it. And I'll use that every now and again. I have an obsidian glass mirror plate that I purchased, and I'll do gazing into that as well. I've got crystals in my car for travel because I travel so much. If you name most of the crystals that are mainstream, I already have them.
Yeah. The basic ones.
The crystal quartz.
Like your rose quartz, your
amethyst, rose quartz.
Clear quartz.
I have clear quartz. I have
lapis lazuli.
I have lapis lazuli. I have, you name them. I have them.
Pretty much.
Have them all. I have jade.
There's so many. Jade.
I have malachite, which is around your neck.
This one, malachite.
I have a few of those in my car.
This one is the dragon's blood.
Dragon's blood.
Jasper.
I have that
right here.
I probably have that in my car too.
The dragon's blood.
Yep, I have an obsidian pyramid that sits under the seat of my car.
Yeah, I got 2 of those, a small one and a big one. This one is the rainbow hematite. Yeah, rainbow hematite.
Good for grounding. I have hematite. So what I don't have, I do not have any tiger's eye because I'm an Aquarius, and tiger's eye for Aquarius, it could be a stone that would alter, but my daughter would carry it because she's a Capricorn.
Well, I actually have a tiger's eye. I have a few of them actually, and I use them for a few candle works or tiger's eye. Very grounding and a protective crystal. So if I feel like I need that extra ground or protection, I'll wear it because I like to color coordinate. Like brown and green, get like the earth sense. I'll wear it with that too.
So I have tourmaline, obsidian for I do have onyx too for protection. I have a plethora, let's put it like that. I lived in a really good place where I could go get crystals. I have celestite. Celestite is good for spiritual understanding. Celestite is also good for spiritual connection. So I have those as well.
So family, each crystal have its own meaning, and it has more than one meaning. So I do have 3 books here for those who want to dabble further into crystals. You know, these aren't all my books. This is only a few. So, you know, these are the books I used in the beginning where I started out to understand crystals. So I will link them in the description down below if you're interested.
Another thing that you can do is you can turn your crystals, whatever they mean in here, is good. That's a surface level understanding. You can take your crystals and you can infuse them with your own energy, and you can turn them into what you want them to be, because they are vibrational. And so at that point, you would just take and build up the energy in your hands by rubbing them together, hold them together, and get a vision or understanding of what it is that you're looking for in your heart. So say you have on a green stone and it's not for protection, you want to give it protection. So you see it protecting you or cloaking you, you hold your stone in there, get that vision, and infuse that vision in there. You can do that too. Because of that, that's the reason why I said I don't have to wear them, because if I can hold that understanding within myself, then I feel like I pass it on to my spirit, and my spirit's going to do the job for me.
Ashe, intention is what it pretty much matters when it comes to your own spiritual practice.
Yes.
What is your intention? Excuse me. So another thing I do want to talk about, sis, is forms of meditation. And I meditate different ways. I'll meditate elevated. I'll meditate sitting straight up. Sometimes I like to just lay on the floor and meditate and put crystals on the body. And when I do that, I can feel the groundedness even more when I'm down on the floor meditating and stuff like that. But then you got the focused meditation, visualizing, body scanning, breath work, guided and unguided. So what are your thoughts?
There's a lot of different forms of meditation. We did touch on this in one of our past videos. You can refer to that for some of the insight, as well as because there's so many different forms of meditation, I would tell you to look those forms of meditation up. If the simple ones don't work for you, if you can't do it sitting up, lay back. You can meditate and walk. You can meditate and do almost anything. As long as you're not really trying to operate large vehicles or heavy machinery, for the simple fact is that you still want to be conscious to what's going on around you. And a lot of times when you meditate, it could walk you away from your consciousness. And you don't want to be in an act that could be detrimental to you or somebody else.
Right.
So she named most of them. There's so many more ways. So I'll tell you that as long as you get it done, then pick your way and make it yours.
Yeah, that's most definitely right. And I will say this, guys, you can get on YouTube and search for guided meditations if you want to start out that way, or even just breath work. There's so many like videos on YouTube that will teach you how to do the basics. That way you can pick it up and make it your own.
Starting out, I usually tell people don't start out with guided meditations, because it's giving you a false sense of what you can do. But once again, if you can't sit there by yourself with yourself, then start with the guided meditations. But I feel like sometimes those become a crutch that we hold on to. And the whole point of a spiritual practice is for you to be able to find yourself and deal with self, and being able to sit with self, to clear the mind, to lower your heart rate, and to give your central nervous system a break while you're still up. I do find that doing a meditation within yourself, by yourself, it's harder. But once you advance in it, it's easier, and you sit there and you mellow out quickly. And then you get those extra benefits and those extra levels of meditation, which for some it's gonna be like sis flying on a spaceship somewhere, or astral projecting, or some of these other things. For me, like I noticed that I could feel my skin breathing. And it gave me a better understanding of what I was working with this physical form that we have, that we call self.
Our avatars.
The avatar.
And I do have books on meditation, but I don't have them right here. I will leave them down below.
Well,
So
we can do another video some other time
yeah,
and actually show you books geared towards that
that I did.
geared towards that
Yeah.
session. And that way you all get a good understanding, and maybe we can read to you what's on the back side or in the inside flap, and you can decide if that's what you want to do.
Oh, shit.
And that way we're able to help you progress as well as give you the information and the knowledge that we've gathered up to this point.
I love it, sis. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I got so many books that we
Oh, man.
with you. So many, a plethora.
Yes.
When I tell you my bookshelf collapses, I saw it. I said, baby, just go on, tip off, baby. It was like doing like this right here. And I was just like, go on, tip off, baby. And just said, So one thing I do have left that I want to also talk about is the use of affirmations. And that's also a part of people's spiritual practices as well as myself. But I want to put out, I'm also conscious of the wording of my affirmation when it comes to past, present, and future, using past tense as affirmations of breaking free and letting go, and using present tense as something of the current. Future, I would say something as if you're living it right now. So I feel present and future kind of go hand in hand with each other because you're living in it in the now, in the moment, if that makes sense. So that's my take on affirmations, because I'm very cautious about how I use the verbiage, and that's the way I'm able to manifest whatever it is that I'm manifesting. So what about your takes on
I
that?
only have 1 to 2 affirmations that I use, and that is everything is always working out for me. That right there is the best the best affirmation that I can use for myself, for the simple fact is that I'm not a person who really does a lot of these cookie cutter practices. Not to say that there's anything wrong with it. It just doesn't resonate with me. I feel like everything is always working out for me is good, because if it looks like it's not working out for me right now and I recite that to myself, I know that just because this door closed meant another door is going to open for me.
Yeah.
I don't get up and read affirmations every day, but I do recognize that there are people who do. So when I talk to people, I do talk to them about affirmations. The only problem with affirmations that I find is most people use it as lip service. They're not actually believing in what they're saying. And now we just left the age of the believing. We spoke about this before. We're in the age of the knowing, but you can't know something that you don't believe. Okay. So you got to believe it first in order to know it's going to happen. If you don't believe that you're going to make it home, you're not going to make it home. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I feel, and I know there's other people that say you have to know, you can't believe, but sometimes we need to walk into things in order to understand. You can't go from not knowing, not understanding to just knowing and believing.
Right.
You've got to start somewhere. And depending on age and how much you've been through in life and how much life has showed you up to this point, could also mean that because believing in self, just starting there, most people don't believe in self. Most people go to other people to tell them who they are, when that is already putting you outside of who you are.
Yeah.
So affirmations are just one of those things that I use a few, and I know they work for me because they actually put me in a headspace of get out of the negative into the positive, and don't worry about what door closed. Watch that next door open up for you.
All right, sis. Ashe. So these are the tools and everything that we have that we use. I will input the books, the links down into the description so that you can have that. I do have books on astrology because some people also utilize astrology.
All people need to utilize astrology. If you want to know who you are, instead of going to ask your next door neighbor who might not like you and you don't know it because they're pretending like they do like you, it's easier to go to an astrological book. Yeah.
Well, these are some books here that'll get you started. Again, these ain't all the books that I got, but this is what I have to get you started and get you going. I only have 2 journal prompts, and for this is 1, what is your intent within your own choice of spiritual practice? And if you do, what type of tools do you use for your spiritual practices? And what are your favorite tools? Whether it be crystals, whether it be a journal, a pen, or just yourself in general, what are the tools that you use if you do that? And I'm gonna give sis the chance to speak for the closeout.
So what this is all about is you learning you,
Yes.
you knowing what you want for you understanding what resonates, gives you that nice, warm, fuzzy feeling, not butterflies. We're not going for butterflies. We're going for validation within self. You validating yourself, you validating your spiritual practice. You understand that you can go to TikTok, you can come to YouTube, but when you go to these places, it's the superficial information that you're getting. You'll have to deep dive. And I'm not saying that you can't deep dive into something else, but you want to make sure that the information that you're getting, you do follow up on. This isn't church. You're not just taking our word for it. You're actually getting up and you're finding the information for yourself as well. Because if you don't, you stand a chance of being manipulated once again. And that's why most people are so upset with religion because, oh, it's a money trap. It's a this, it's a that, it's a other. But you have to also understand that you allowed yourself to fall into that portion of it. Now, if you go to church just to get the spirit, feel the spirit, and get a great understanding of what your week needs to be foresighted on when it comes to what the pastor is talking about and what you need to look up for the week, then that's what you need to do. But whatever he's talking about, you need to go in, not just read it there in church. You need to read that whole passage around it, because some of the excerpts that are taken out of anything can be manipulated. And then sis can read one thing and I can read another thing, and we get two different understandings out of it.
Yeah.
If I'm following her understanding, I'm putting myself in the wood line and off my pathway because I'm following what she said, but what she said isn't good for me. It's good for her. And then it's vice versa. She's not going to completely follow what I say because what I say could put her off her pathway and put her on mine. And if she's not supposed to be on my pathway, she's not supposed to be a follower behind me. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
with that being said, always make sure that what you're doing makes sense to you and feels right to you. If at any time in your spiritual practice or biblical practice or your Quran or whatever it is that you're studying from, if there's a portion of that that doesn't sit well with you, you need to question that within yourself and understand why. And most people say, oh no, you're supposed to follow this to the book. This book was written by God. Yeah, I'm not stuck. That's me saying that if God was to write that book, he would have made it non-interchangeable. You wouldn't have been able to erase anything and rewrite what you wanted. You wouldn't have been able to put it in a twisted form so that we couldn't understand it. It would have been
It was made by man.
It would have been energetic.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't have had all these publishers, illustrators. It wouldn't have had any of that. So therefore, I do understand that people who follow these books believe that that is set in stone and that's what it is. Got you. Not trying to tell you anything different until you start to believe in yourself that it's something different. Yeah. But I'm going to say this. God hasn't written anything. He created us. And when he created us with a portion of him within it. So we should be able to discern for ourselves. But instead of us discerning for ourselves, we let other people do it because it's easy.
Yes, it's quick.
Yes. It's, oh, okay, yeah. Now, if you need somebody to kind of solidify what it is you're doing, I do this and I got this, okay, and they did it and they got it. Okay, that's cool. Great. That doesn't mean you're supposed to keep doing everything that they do because what they're doing is turning out to be what you're doing. Find your own pathway.
Right.
Get on your own horse. Get off the horse of everybody else.
Stop looking in folks' windows.
Right. I mean, because then at that point, you can lead yourself.
Yes.
And then you have no reason to point the finger, which then you got three more point back at you to say, well, they're the ones who told me. No, you were the one who didn't get up off your butt and do the research for yourself.
Ashe. So
with that being said, Find your own place in this life, whether it's religion, spirituality, doesn't matter. Don't let somebody tell you your practice is wrong. If they do, just give them the stare. And then keep going. And until then, I'm going to pass it to sis because she's got some stuff to tell you. We're going to be out.
All I'm going to say is find your light and fix your crown, family. Peace. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more conscious talk.